Select start from custom. Yeah, right now the table has 10 records and we want to display this data in the next and previous. Next record and the previous record. Okay, we already designed the form, guys. Have a look. See, basically, remember, once we get the output, yeah. I did not write the logic for displaying the values here, but I'll write it. Let me write the logic to display the values. But once you click on the next button to get the next record, again, it should establish a connection with database again. Because we are working on a stateless behavior of your web applications. Once result is coming now, everything on the server will be destroyed, stateless. So if I click on the next, again data should be loaded into data set. Means every time, suppose if we click on the next button 10 times, previous button 10 times, 20 times, connection should be re-established with the database again now. Are you clear? To simplify this, what I want to do, first time when I load the data, I want all the data. First time when I load the data, I want all the data should be loaded into the data set, and from there I just wanted to put that particular information into a session, so that in the next previous buttons, without going to the database, I'll load it from the session directly now. Okay, watch it all of you. Yeah, I already explained you these 3 lines of code in the last day. Okay, just a small thing. I want to declare the data set globally because I want to use it for multiple places. I'm declaring the data set globally. And all of you observe the logic. If session of customer DS is equals to null. What is the meaning of it? There is nothing in the session now. If there is nothing in the session is empty. Means what is the meaning? It is the first request, man. It is the first request. So what I'm doing, I'm connecting to database and loading the data into dataset now. Are you clear? I'm connecting to the database and loading the data into dataset. No, it is not the first request. It's a postback. It is a postback. It is a postback. Don't go to the database now. Okay. See, first time when I loaded the data into the dataset, all of you carefully observe. First time when I loaded the data into the dataset, what am I doing? I am using a session of customer DS is equals to the data set is stored in the session. When the first request comes, connects to database, data loaded, stored in session. Now, from the second request onwards, can I directly get the value from the session, or should I go to database again? I can directly go to the session here without re-establishing a connection with the database. Take it from the session directly. How? DS is equals to data set of session of customer DS. Okay, all of you have a breakpoint here. Run. Is your first request now? When you send your first request, session is empty. Connecting to database, loading the data from the database now. You can preview the data set also. Oh, data set is empty here. Oh, sorry. Just a second. Yeah, all of you observe it. Now, session is empty. Adapter created. Data set created, but that is empty. Last class I showed you empty. You can see. Right. If you put your mouse here, if you generally put your mouse here, you'll find a view option. Click on it. Okay. Well, just a second. Now watch again. Fill method is going to load the data, correct? Loaded the data. How many tables are there? One only now? If multiple tables are there here, it will show you the list of all the tables now. Got it or not? So right now it is a customer. Tomorrow if you have another table called employee, if I select employee, it is employee data now. You can see all the things directly on screen now in the debug mode. In the debug mode, everything will be visible. Okay now? So data loaded. Where is the data? Inside the data set. Inside the data set, and that data set is stored in the session. When I click on the next button, see now, session of customer DS, is it null? No, it is not null. It is not null. Because it is not null, see now, came to else part, came to the else part. Initially DS is null, see? Okay. Now after executing this line, data is loaded in the data set now, and click on the view and you can see the data. I did not establish a connection with the database now. Are you getting me or not? If I don't use this like this, what is the problem, you know? Browser connects to web server. Web server connects to database server. 10 times you click on next to previous button, the same thing repeats. Browser connecting to web server connecting to SQL server, not the database server. I'm trying to minimize it. How? Browser connecting to web server is compulsory. That cannot be changed. But I'm removing the concept of web server connecting to database server again and again. Web server connects to database server only once. Rest of the times, where is the data? It is under the session, and we can use that session values straight away in the application. Are you guys clear? Now tell me, where is the data? Data set is in the session. Where is the data? Data is in the data set. Where is data set? Data set is in the session. So where is data? Now let us understand how to access the data present in the data set. How to access the data present in the data set. Okay. So listen, accessing data from data set. All of you carefully listen this. A data set is internally a collection of tables. Just now I shown you now one table only present, multiple tables is only there. Okay, data set is internally a collection of tables where each table is an instance of class data table which can be accessed by using its index or name. Read it. Where each table is an instance of class data table. What is that, Harry? Yesterday I said, you know, adapter is a collection of commands. Each command is an instance of command now. That's all I'm telling you. Data set is a collection of tables. Each table is an instance of a class. Which class? Data table. How to access it? Okay. What is the name of your data set in the code? Okay. Watch it, man. DS dot first table or what, man? Index or name. You can either use the index here, name here. Okay. Now with this, you got access to the table first. You got access to the table. Next, a data table is internally a collection of rows where each row is an instance of class data row which can be accessed by using its index. By using its index. Sir, name. Array, row doesn't have name yet. Row doesn't have name. Column has a name, table has a name, not the row. Understood or not? So which can be accessed by using its index. How to refer to your row, you know? DS dot tables of 0 dot rows of 0 or DS dot rows of 0. Rows will have only index, doesn't have names. Next. A data table is also a collection of columns where each column is an instance of class data column which can be accessed by using its index or name. ds dot tables of 0 dot columns of 0. Okay, na? Otherwise, ds dot tables of 0 dot columns of customer ID. Other way, whatever it is. I use table index or table name, column index or column name. But when you come to row, it's only index. You cannot use the name. Are you guys clear? So simple English here, that is, first you're referring to the table. Under the table, you're referring to row. Under the table, you're referring to column. How to refer to a cell? ds dot tables of 0 dot rows of 0 of 0. Understood? Or if you want to replace table index with a table name, replace it. Column index with a column name, replace it. Row index will not change. Is that clear? Understood me? Okay. Now, first time when I loaded data into the data set, or first time when I loaded data into the data set, I want to display this in my text boxes. You have text boxes now? I want to, one checkbox is also Boolean, 4 text boxes and 1 checkbox. I want to display under them now. Okay. How to display? Watch it. To display that, I'm writing one function, man. What is the name? Show data. I'm writing a function with the name called as show data. This is my function. And in this, I'm writing what? Text box txt id dot text is equals to ds is your data set dot tables of, how many tables you have now? 1 only now? Okay, then 0 dot rows of, which row you want? Which row you want? Open the mouth or get out of the classroom. 0. Which column? Which column? Tell that. Okay, but the return type is object. The return type is object. So calling first. Come on, repeat. txt name dot text is equals to ds dot tables of 0 dot rows of 0. Someone is telling 1. You second row. First row only. Then which column? Name dot posting. Next. txt balance dot text is equals to ds dot tables of 0 dot rows of 0 of balance dot toasting. Next, txt city dot text is equals to ds dot tables of 0 dot rows of 0 of city dot toasting. Next, cd status dot check is equals to boolean of ds dot tables of 0 dot rows of 0 of status. Array, there it is a string. So I called it toString, but this is not a string now, this is a boolean. So I converted into boolean. Now guys, I am going to call this method now. I'm going to call this method. Okay. So we'll come here and I will call the method in the load event now. So when I run now, Check it out. You got the first row. You got the first row. The first row of the table is automatically displayed for you on the screen now. And the status is selected. Now, when I click on the next button, what should happen? It should show me the next row now. It has to show me the next row. Okay, it has to show me the next row. So if at all you want to show the next row now, okay, we need to write the logic for these 4 buttons now. Let me write it. First button, previous button, next button, last button. Okay, we'll start with the next button first. Array, when I click on the next button, what should happen? The second row should come and show now. What should come and show? Second row should come and show. So for that, we written a method. What is the method? Show data. But if I call this show data method here, now also it is showing me first row only, it won't show me second row. Why, sir? Because row index is 0. If I want to show the second row, the row index should become 1. If it is 2, row index should become 2. Sorry, third record 2, fourth record 3. I need to change it. Correct or not? What should change? The row index. And to achieve it, see guys, what am I doing? I'm declaring an integer variable called as row index with a value 0. Now, coming here, in the place of this 0, I'm using row index variable. What is the value? 0 only. What is the value? 0. So I'm removing the rows of 0, and in the place of that I'm using row index, and row index value is 0 only. So when I run it, by default what will come? First record. Now also first record will come. Now understand guys, when I click on the next button, what should happen? Second row should come. Means row index should increment by 1. Yes or not? Row index should increment by 1. So can I go to the next button? And in the next button, can I say row index plus equals to 1? Are you clearer or not? A small change, guys. In my first request, I'm calling the show data in the if condition. In the postback request, my show data is called in the next button now. Did you catch my point or not? In the first request, where is the show data called? Page load event, it is going to call. From the postback request, it won't go to if condition now. Where it goes? It goes to else part. It goes to the else part. Okay, and loads the data. And I want to take you next in the next button click event. Okay, so observe it. Here it is going to call the show data. So look, all of you. You want me to add a breakpoint there? Okay, just observe it. First request, okay. Now come to the next. Say, you came to else part, right? Data loaded. From here you will go to next button click. Row index is 0 becomes 1 now and calls show data. When you call show data, remember all these zeros are now 1. Right? So should show me the second record. Check. Now on the click of the next, is it going to show me the third record or not? Tell me confidently. Where, sir? Not coming. Not coming, see? 1 became 2. Brainless fellows. How many times I should tell you, man? What is that? Stateless now. Row index will be reset to 0 every time now. You need to preserve your row index also in a session. Earlier we talked now, button click incrementing. That doesn't work. Why? Stateless. So the row index is getting destroyed every time now. Every time initializing with 0. Next is making it 1. Always first record only will come. On that day also is we click on the next increment button. Count to 1 only. Did not increment. So to increment, what I done? I shown you different techniques to you. I can achieve this with a view state. I can achieve this with a session. I can achieve this with a application, depending on the requirement. You want only for the page. View state. You want for multiple pages. For the user. Session. If you wanted multiple pages for all users. Application. Now what shall I take? View state, session, application. Louder. It should be it can be session or view state. View state is enough actually. Session also no problem. Why? For this page only na. You want this count for this page only na. Then what do you need of a session? View state will work. Session is not wrong, but not required. Why? Once you go to second page, session won't destroy. Session will wait for until the user session is over. But if you go to second page, view state will destroy. Okay? Session is not wrong, but view state will be sufficient for us here. Error or not. So see what am I doing in the load event. Here only I'm writing what? View state of is equals to what is the initial value of the row index? Now 0 is stored into this, correct? Now in the else part, after you taken the data set out, take the view state value also outside. What is it? Row index is equals to view state of row index should be converted into integer plus 1. So the else part, the 0 becomes 1 and assigned to the row index. Are you clearer or not? Okay. Understood all of you? Or otherwise, don't increment here. Just leave it like this. Pick the old value. What is the old value? 0. Now come here. Now come here, guys. What are you doing? You're making row index 1. Afterwards, you're calling show data. Show data will show the data. Finally, what you'll do? Sorry. I'm preserving the row index now. I'm preserving the row index in this case now. Okay. So once again, you guys can observe. I'm adding a breakpoint. Run. This is my first request. What happens? It will create it will check the if condition. True now. Adapter is created. Empty data set is created. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Without loading the data, I stored up the data set in the session. Without loading, what will you store? Nothing can be stored now. So when should I store? After fill, the data set is stored in the session and the row index value is also stored in the session. What is the initial value of the row index? 0. Once again. Observe. First request, so adapter created, data set is created empty, fill is called data loaded. What happens? The data set is now stored into session. Row index value. What is value? 0. Afterwards, show data. Now control jumps to show data. What is the row index value? 0. So because it is 0, it is showing the first record. Now click on the next button. When I click on the next button, guys, notice it will go to else part now. Fix the data set out. Fix the data set out. All the data is reloaded back now. Next, fix the row index out. What is the value? 0. 0. Okay, now it will go to next button. Now it will go to the next button. Now when you go to the next button, the row index will become 1. And then you're calling show data. See now, what is row index? 1. So going to show you second record. Are you clear? Again, same story. Next button. What the row index value? 1. From here goes to 2. Show data. Storing the row index value back into the session. Let me remove the breakpoints and see now the next button is working perfectly or not. See guys, if status is inactive, it is and the checkbox is unchecked. Same like this, when I click on the previous, it has to take me to back where? Understood or not? It has to go to back. Can you guess the code? Simple common sense is enough for that. Copy the same code here as it is. Paste here. What do you say? Minus equals to 1. Can you tell me the code for first button? What is the row index? 0. Show data. Okay, now last button. Last record index is count minus 1. What is only? First record index is 0. Last record index is count minus 1. Rest all code is same only, see? Yes or not? Okay, run. Semicolon I missed somewhere. Here I missed. For first I missed. See guys, it is going to navigate to next and previous records. Two things we are trying to understand here. One, it is disconnected. One time only the connection open. Next time the connection is not open. And it is scrollable. See the checkbox is unchecked. Status is false. Are you clear? Directly last. Directly first. Scrollable. Bidirectional navigation. Understood? But I have a problem. I have a problem. What the problem is? Where am I now? Last record, correct now? If I click on the next button, row index will become 10 now. Current row index is 9 here. When I click on the next button, row index will become 10 now. And goes to show data. Yes or not? Show data will throw you error. There is no row. Check. Yeah, same way when you use previous also, it will go to -1. 0, it will go to -1. -1 means -1 is not existing at all. Nah? See now, you are at 0 now. When you click on previous, we go to -1 row now. Are you clear? So we need to handle these two. We need to handle these two. How, sir? All of you, observe this one. What are you doing? You're incrementing the row index value and calling show data. Okay, now a small condition. Sorry, you're decrementing, not incrementing. If row index is greater than 0, then only incrementation should be done. Am I clear? Row index is 0, decrementation should not be done now. Then it should be decremented. Greater than 0. 10 is there, 9. 9 is there, 8. 1 is there, 0. 0 is there. Don't decrement it. Are you clear? So at this point of time, I want to display an alert message to a user. What is it? You are at the first record of the table. You are at the first record of the table. I want to show you a simple message to the user telling that you are at the first record of the table. Same way, even in case of last also I want to. What is that? You are at last record of the table. You are at the last record of the table. So here I am showing you. I copied only alert message, that's all. You are at first record of the table. So now previous will not cause me error. Check it out. But next is not still controlled. Previous only we controlled it. Check. See guys, 2, 1. No error. Understood? Same like this, you're required to write the condition for next also. What is that? If row index is less than ts dot tables of 0 dot rows dot count minus 1. If it is less than that only, you are going to increment. No, equal to count. Equal to count means last record now. Understand? Else. What else? You are at the last record of the table. See, you won't go to next, you won't go to previous beyond the size. Is that clear? Same like that. Directly last, directly first. Understood or not? Are you guys clear? So this is how you are just going to use the data set. Okay, small thing here. Look at all these 4 buttons. Look at all these 4 button clicks here. Look at all these 4 button clicks. Here, row index value 0. Here, -1. Here, so code is different. Okay, now, but in all the 4 you're calling show data. Understood? Afterwards, the row index value stored in the view state. See, man. You're calling a view data na, sorry, show data na. Why don't you write this line in that only so that 4 times you don't require now, 1 times only you'll need it. This code is different from button to button here. This line. Yes or not? But look at this line here. It is same in all 4. What I am telling is, anyhow you're calling show data na. If you write this line in show data, the code will execute na. Why after show data writing this code? So what I'm telling is, take this line of code and put it under show data last so that you don't require to write it again here. Here. Somewhere I skipped it. First, here. No need. See now, what are you doing? You're setting the row index and calling show data. Next. Are you doing the same thing only? Are setting the row index and calling show data. Plus equal to a, minus equal to a, 0 a, count minus, that is secondary. But process is same. Understood me or not? Okay. So that's how you're going to use it. So here, I said here, we can use session also there. We can use a view state also there. See guys, if you observe this, I used a session only for both. I used a session only for both the 2 things. But not only a session, guys, if you want, you can use a view state also. There's something wrong. The code is missing row index. Oh. Okay, I'll update the notes. All of you, while writing the code, be careful. In the load event, I forgot to store the row index in the session. Okay, I'll update the notes anyhow. But when you're practicing, if you don't download it, just make sure the row index also should be stored in the session or a view state. I said you, anything is okay. In the view state also no problem. Session also no problem. Okay, let me add that, guys. It's missing. But while you're writing the code, remember that point, otherwise you'll get error. That's what I'm trying to warn you. What I said here, view state also no problem. Session also no problem. View state of what is the name? Row index is equals to what should I store? Row index. What is the initial value? 0. Did not initialize, no need. Nah, even I don't initialize, also default value of every field as it has a default value, 0 only. Okay, if you want, I'll do it, but still, this is what. And next, the value. Finally, and session is not an error. Use session there also, no problem. Just as said you, anything can be used. Nothing we have the meaning. I missed this particular line of code, so don't forget all of you. In the notes, this line is missing. Are you clear? If you use view state here, change to view state in all the other two places also. If you use session here, session is there already in the notes. That is only present. What is missing is this line is missing, not view state. What is missing? This line of code is missing in the notes. Be careful. You will get not error. You will get an error when you click on the next button telling you null reference exception because nothing is stored in the view state. Nothing is stored in the view state. Okay, fine. Yeah, guys, with this, you're clear. Your data set is scrollable. Your data set is disconnected also. That only shown you it's a disconnected architecture. Connection is not open. Connection is closed. And also mainly it is scrollable. We are able to go to next record, previous record, first record as well as last record. We are able to navigate to anywhere we want in the code. Am I clear? Well, now what I just wanted to show you is actually we are writing connection string in the code now. In our application, you remember how many examples I shown you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll leave that. That is test connection. But these 5. In these 3, I'm establishing connection with ASPDB. In this, I'm establishing a connection with Northwind. In the earlier classes, I taught you this concept. Remember, tomorrow, if at all password changes now, I need to update all the files. Password changed. I need to update all the files. 3 to present, not a problem. Imagine there are 100 forms. 50 forms are having connection with one database. 50 forms are having connection with the one database. But password change. I need to edit all the 100 now. And to simplify this, what did I say? Don't write these type of things in the application. Put them in the config file. Where should I put them? Config file. So till now we are doing a mistake. What a mistake? Writing the connection string in the C# code is wrong. Tomorrow if the password changes, you're required to edit all these files. Remember. Understood? My password is SA now. For security reasons, they changed the password to something else. NIT is my new password now. I need to open every form and modify the password. 100 forms, 200 forms, 300 forms. It's not easy. So what is the best way to manage it? Config file. So go to Web.Config and without writing the connection strings there. So listen, earlier I shown you these are the website settings. Same like this, I shown you something called app settings. General settings they are general settings. Same like this we have. This is for writing the connection strings. This is for writing the connection strings. I'm writing it. See how to write add. Name is equals to what is your database? I'm naming the ASPDB CS, ASPDB connection string. Same like this, one more guys, add name is equals to Northwind connection string. Okay. And here you need to write provider is equals to what is the provider? System dot data dot SQL client. Next, connection string is equals to, come and write the connection string now. Every day you're writing now, that only data source is equals to server. User ID is equals to SA. Password is equals to 123. Database is equals to ASPDB. Same like this, guys. What? Connection string is equals to data source is equals to server. User ID is equals to SA. Password is equals to 123. Database is equals to Northwind. Are you clear? So now in your application, replace the connection string. See what I'm telling is in this page, come to the current page here, last page. in this page, replace this connection string with the connection strings value, with the connection string value. How to replace? We need to read that value in the code. We need to read that value in the code. How to read? Look, guys. First, you require import a namespace called as system.configuration. After importing the namespace, you need to read it. How? There is a class called configuration manager. What do you want to read? App settings or connection strings? Huh? Earlier, I thought you're reading app settings. Do you remember? Now I'm reading connection strings. And two connection strings are there. Na? If I say 0, it refers to ASPDB. If I say 1, not 20dB. All you want to be clear. Make it descriptive. Dot connection string. Dot connection string. I'm reading it. And the value what I'm reading here, I'm storing in a string variable. I'm storing in a string variable. Come here, guys. Replace this complete value now. And what do you write? Run and see, working or not. Tomorrow, if your password is changed here, you don't require to open this file. Open the config and you update the password here. That should reflect now. Or now error will come. Why? Our password did not change now. So just I'm trying to prove you it will read the value from the config. I'm sorry. Just I'm trying to prove you it will read the value from the config. See, error comes. Here, it's not taking the value from the local. Where is it taking from? It is taking from the Web.Config. So now I should update the remaining 4 pages also. Yes or not? What should I write? First, import the namespace. Second, read the connection string. But tomorrow, if you have 100 forms, 100 places I should write, repeat this code now. Importing the namespace, reading that. Importing the namespace, reading. In every page, I need to repeat this process. Okay? I'm trying to still simplify the code. I'm trying to still simplify the work for you. Observe it, what I'm doing. In the project, let me add a new class. Let me add a new class. I will name this new class as read CS. Anything you like, man, no problem. What is the name I'm giving? Read CS. Read connection string. Okay. Now, I will import the namespace here. What is system.configuration. Now, in this class, I'm writing a public static property with a name called as ASPDB. It's a property, man. What type of property? Read-only property. It's a read-only property. In the get, I'm writing what? Return configuration manager dot connection strings of which one? ASPDBCS dot connection string. Dot connection string. I'm sorry. Same, guys. Let me copy this. Add again. What is the name now? Northwind. Come here. Replace this also with Northwind. You'll be wondering, why did you write this code, sir? I'll tell you. Now come to this page. Now I don't require to import this namespace. I don't require to read the code. Nothing required. What I can do, read CS is the class, correct? Under that you have a property now. And moreover, I made static now. That's why instance is also not required now. Dot ASPD. That's all. Now in all the pages, that only you should do now. Shall I do in the remaining pages? Come on, I'm opening the employee insert page. I'm opening the employee insert page. Observe. Remove all this code now and write what? That's all. Read cs.aspdb. Come on, go to the third page. Going forward, I won't write the connection string anywhere, guys. Dot ASPDB. Next, fourth page. The fourth page is Northwind. Observe, guys. The fourth page is Northwind. Northwind. Fifth page. This is also Northwind only. Northwind. Read cs.northwind. Clear? No more connection strings in the code now. One words. Whenever you want to connect with ASPDB, what I'll write? Read cs.aspdb. Whenever I want to connect with Northwind, I'll say read cs.northwind. Same way, if you want to add a connection string for Excel, add it. You want a connection string for Oracle, add it. You can add the connection strings in the config file and then go to the class and write one read-only property to read that value. So now no need to import the namespace everywhere and no need to write that lengthy statement configuration manager dot connection strings of dot connection string. All this not required. Very simple code you have here now. What is that? Read cs.northwind. Yeah. So the first step. Open the config file and write all the connection strings. Guys, tomorrow if you have Excel, write a connection string for Excel also here. Yeah, Oracle, write a connection string for Oracle also here. Same process. You want for Excel, guys. Tell me, what name shall I give? Excel connection string. OLDB. It is OLDB. Data source is equals to. Remember what should I write? File path. E drive. Not C#. Excel docs. Yes or not? Don't forget, sir, you said double slash. Double slash is in C#. This is not C#, this is XML. Here single slash only. And if you write path in C#, you should use double slash. That is not C#, man, that is XML. No need double slash there, single slash only. Next. We missed ace dot, OLDB dot, 12.2. One more attribute, man. Remember, one more attribute. I taught you. Speak louder here. Why are you whispering in the mouth? Extended properties is equals to Excel 8.6. Same way, I want to add a connection string for Oracle. Oracle connection string. Provider name is equals to connection string is equals to. That's my password. That is my password. And this is the first step. What is the first step? You'll write the connection string in the config. Second step, write the properties. This is for Excel. You're writing for Excel. one for Oracle. Change the names here. What is this? Excel, Oracle. That's it. So going forward, you can use this directly in your applications without writing the connections things again. So that going forward, modifications becomes easier. You want to change the path, you want to change the password, or user ID, or database name, anything, you can go to config and modify. Once you modify in the config, that reflects to the whole application. Okay. Yeah. Storing connection strings in config file. Read it, read the paragraph. You need to modify this in each and every web form. And this is going to become a complex task again. Modify directly in the web.config file. So what will you do? You open the config file now and write the connections things in it. Second, you want to read it. One way of reading is like this. This is how you should read it. Okay. And what I said to you, if you want to use now, what do? You will first read the value and afterwards pass it to the connection. But what is the problem? Again, you need to write this reading code in all pages. Without writing the reading code in all pages, another option I said, define a class with the static properties. So that one would see. But here, first read, afterwards pass it. But here, directly you can pass off. Directly you can read and pass it. No need to read separately, no need to pass separately. Mainly, importing the config file also not required. Sorry, importing the system.configuration namespace also will not be required. Okay. So always use config files for writing the connections. Things don't forget. Tomorrow, when you come work in your company, when you're working in your company, suppose you started today and your lead has done one thing. What is it? They installed a code on your system and telling you just to go through the code. Just to go through the code, run and see how the code is working. Are you clear? And then the first doubt what you'll get is, what is the database? Don't ask anyone here. Open the web.config and the web.config sits for the connections things. There you will find out the information of the database now. User ID, password, server name, everything. You can open SQL Management Studio. Fill the details there now. The user ID there, the password there, connected. You'll see the database and you can open it and watch now. Are you clear? If you correctly understand the things, you don't require to ask help from anyone. Everything you can resolve it. You can find out. Understood? You don't require to ask someone, what is the database I'm connecting? You need to check it up in the config file. Open the config file and check that. Which database are they using? Oracle or SQL Server? Okay, if it is SQL Server, what is the server name? What is the user ID? What is the password? What is the database name? You can verify everything under the config files disk. Okay, so it's all about the configs. Next. Already we talked about the grid view control. Yeah, last example. Not last, day before yesterday, before I explained you data sets. I thought you already took tables, 2 data grids and showing you. I shown you like just simply showing the data there. That's it now. What I explained you simply showing the data. That's it. Okay. Well, guys. But when you talk about this grid view, the grid view has various features in it. The grid view has various features in it. Read the first paragraph. I did not show all these things. What I shown you? I simply showing the data. That's it. I did not show you paging. I did not show you sorting, customizing. Let's see all these things. Let's start with paging. What is paging? You all know paging, huh? I'm searching for some topic here. I'm searching some topic. Paging is not enabled. Right now they made it dynamic. What is it? Once you scroll down, it keeps on loading the things automatically. But don't you remember earlier we used to get pages there? Oh, do blank pages? Yeah, use the internet anytime or not? When you put blank page, haven't you seen it in the bottom? Will show you page numbers. You'll click on the page numbers and go to next pages now. Okay, right now they modified this and made it dynamic content, just like Facebook. Just like Facebook, you keep scrolling, it will load you the feed data. They also done the same implementation like this for you here. But earlier it is not the process. We used to have page number seen in the bottom, but right now it is dynamically loading this content when I scroll down. Okay, or otherwise, if I open Amazon, this also your page nation. You can click on this and go to next pages now. Are you clear? This is only called paging. What is paging? Without displaying the whole page with a scroll bar scrolling down, you can use a pagination so that user can click on next, next, and go to next pages now. I want to show only 10 records in my page. Understood? See, basically, people hate scrolling. People hate scrolling. Why? Generally, vertical scrolling is okay, but imagine horizontal scrolling. In any website, you don't see that. Yes or not? You generally don't see a horizontal scrolling. Why? Moving like this, it will be a little bit irritating. And even some people are scrolling down also. If you scroll down again, I forget what I saw in the top, again, I just scroll up and down now. Yes or not? So people hate scrolling. So what they ask, sometimes customers will ask you, display me only some products that I'm showing my customer said that display me only 10 products with the next button in the bottom. When you click on the next, show me the next 10 products. Next, show me the next 10 products. Actually, if we want to achieve this, we need to write some coding for that. We need to write some lot of coding for that for 10 pages, 10 pages, 10 pages like this. But if you take the help of the grid view, that feature is inbuilt. That feature is inbuilt. Because that feature is inbuilt, you don't require to write great logic for this. Just 1-2 lines of extra coding for the regular load code, paging will work for you. Okay, we'll show you, watch it out. What I'm doing is, I'm going to load you data from our Northwind database customers table. Remember 91 records there? Scroll down. Yes or not? No, user is telling, no, I don't want to see 91 records. Show me only 10 records at a time. So that we want to get 10 pages now. 91 now. But last page will have only one record. Last page will have only one record. But we need to block it into 10 pages now. Understood? Okay, how to do that I'll tell you. First, let me load the data. First, let me load the data. I will add a page here. Observe, guys. Are you clear? Northwind underscore customers underscore grid underscore paging. Click on the add a any name you like. GV customers is the name what I'm using. So I have a grid view. And right now, I want to connect to the database and load all the data. I want to connect to the database and load all the data. And here, see, when I click on the next now, when I click on the next, initially I want 10. When I click on the next, 20. When I click on the next, sorry, first 1 to 10. Second, 11 to 20. Third, 31 to, sorry, 21 to 30. 31 to 40. Means there is a post back now or not? Answer me. There is a post back. Is a post back without loading the data every time from the database. We'll follow the same technique what I explained you in the previous example. First time, let us store in the session so that we can use in the post back now without reconnecting to database. Observe, guys. Using system.data for a data set class for SQL client. What am I doing? I'm declaring a data here. That's a data set here. Okay, next. If session of which table we are planning? Customer DS is equals to null. Means if there is no data in the session, what you'll do? I'm creating a data adapter, going to load the data from the customers table. What columns? Not all columns here. We already done it in the previous example. No? Some 5 or 6 columns we loaded. Come on, let's take these columns on it. Observe. Okay. Next, which database? Not with. Let us see as that, not with. Next step. Initialize the data set. Next step. What is the table name? Customers. Table name is customers. Afterwards, session of customer DS is equals to DS. Else customer DS. Are you guys clearer or not? Okay, like this, we are just going to read the store that array. The same code I explained you in the previous example also. What next? What next? I want to display this data. I want to display this data. In the previous example, to display the data, we have a method called show data. Correct now? Now also I'm doing the same thing only. I'm writing a method. What is the method? Show data. What is the code in this? GV is our video name. DS data bind. So binding the data. And first time I'm calling the show data in the if condition. If condition, run, and it will show you the information. But right now, no paging here. I did not still do paging. I did not still do paging. I only loaded you the sample table for you with all the 91 records. Okay, now Not looking good. I want to show only 10 records now. I want to show only 10 records with the paging option in the bottom. Okay, guys, that's not a big deal. Alright, this code is the same I explained in the previous example here. Compare if you want. But there I have extra row index, but here I don't have any row index. That's all. But exactly the same code only. Yeah. If you want to enable paging here, it's not a great logic or anything you need to write here. Go to design view. Go to properties. Make it true. Before I make it true, look at the grid view. This is how it looks. Okay, now? This is how it looks. Paging enabled. Run. Sir, showing only 10 records. Why? Because there is a default property called as page size. And the page size is 10. No, sir, I want to increase it, decrease it, change it here. It's your choice. It is your choice to change it. But what is the default page size? 10. You can see that also in the property window. Check. Page size is 10. Okay, now I'm making 7. I'm making 7 means 91 records now. 7 means 30 pages. But showing only 10 pages here, when I click on this, it will show you the remaining 3 also. Are you clear? Right now, how many pages are visible? Sorry, how many records are visible? 7 records in the page. Now you want to see the next 7 records. When you want to see the next 7 records, what do you do? When you click on this, an error comes to you. Read it. It is telling you when you click on the next page, if you want to go to the next page, you're required to go and write the logic under that event now. Which event? Page index changing is the event under which the logic has to be implemented. So go there and implement the logic. Very simple, man. Nothing. So go to events. What is the event? Page index changing. Clear? Double click on it and write the logic. What is the logic? Nothing, man. When the user clicks, is it guaranteed to click on second page only? Yeah? You can click on fifth page now. You can click on 10. Who knows? Yes or not? So first I should know what page the user has clicked. Understood or not? I want to know the index of the page, what the user has selected. Not the page number, guys. Index. Page number is one more than the index. If user clicks on 10, it's 9. If user clicks on 7, it is 6. We know that now. I want to capture it. How to capture? Watch it, guys. Inside of the event, we have one property called as new page index. It will tell you the index of the new page, what the user is selecting. Okay, just watch. Response dot write e dot new page index. This will tell you the value now. Guys, notice I'm clicking on 8. I'm going to click on 8. What is the page index? 7. Check it out. Clicking on 5. 10. Are you clear? So these 3 buttons did not work still. It will work great. But are you getting the index or not? Now, what I should do, once I get this index now, I need to navigate to that particular thing now. Okay, so what you say, just watch it. GV customers dot page index is equals to e dot. I am setting this index to the grid view. Why, the default page index of the grid view is 0. What is the default page index? 0. But now I am setting the new value. After setting the new value, I need to reload the data. How to reload the data? For that, we have already written a method called as show data. If I don't write this, Watch, observe. Earlier when we click on that number, error came now. Now I'm clicking on 9. Error did not come. Data also did not come. Understood? Why, sir? Totally I'm telling you, data should be reloaded. Why? It is a disconnected architecture. Sorry, it is a stateless architecture. By default, grid you will have old values only. We need to change them. They need to change them. So run again. Thirteen pages, guys. Are you clear? 13 pages totally, and you're able to see all the 13 pages over there. And you can easily navigate from one page to another page by clicking on this. So this is paging. Simple process, man. What is step one? Set the allow paging property as a true. What is step two? Go to page index changing event and write the logic for setting the new index and reloading the data. That's all. Just the two steps. First step is setting the allow paging property as true. Second, write the logic on the page index changing. That's all. These two steps will automatically make the paging work. Okay. Well, guys, we can do some styling now. What is that? Here we are getting paging now. What you're getting is 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. No, I want to get it as like how we saw right now in Amazon. Page numbers are coming at the same way next and previous is coming. And otherwise, I don't want to see page number, just like on a previous example, see next, first, last. I want to see like this. I want it to see like this. If that is the case, man, actually, it can be customized. How, sir? No, not pager style. I'm sorry. Pager settings. Pager settings. And here, guys, you'll have a property called, what is the mode? Next and previous. What numeric first last? You'll get numbers as well as you'll get the last option. See, I'm clicking on 5, 10. See, you can directly come to first page, you can directly go to last page. As well as you can navigate to the page you want. Okay, like this, you can choose the option you want to. 4 options are there here. See, only next and previous. Second, that is default. Third, numeric. Sorry, next previous. All 4 will come. Next page, previous page, first page, last page. Not numeric first last. Numerics will come, and at the same time, first and last options also will come. Change them and see how it looks. Okay, now? Well, now see, when you are using numeric, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is got coming. But when we use next and previous, what is coming now? Arrow marks are coming. Correct or not? Do you know why? See there. This is the next page text. This is the previous page text. But I want to show, see, showing you like this now, but I want to show next only. I want to show previous or So preview is not showing. We'll see in the runtime, man. Why you did not see, generally where you're in the first case, why previous will come now? Yes or not? When will it come? When in the second page. See, now I'll go to last page. You'll see previous. Next one come. Why? Because that one, we control that. Otherwise, error will come. We return conditions in the code. But without that, what it has done is it is disabling of the button. It is disabling of the button. Same way, you can set up your text for first and last also. Here directly I want to make it as first. And here directly I want to make it as last. And guys, here use this option now. What is it? Next, previous, first, last. See, first, next. You're in the first, you're in the last. I think text is set wrong. What is this? This one? Previous page. Correcto, Nina? Okay, just, okay. Did not refresh, I think. You're getting all the 4C? Takes you to next record. Previous record. Directly last, directly first. Understood or not? Okay. So like this, you can just see all the 4 options. Not only this one, guys. Without this, sometimes you will see in the real time. You can also see some image icons. You can also see some images here. Without your text, you can also see images. How? Asking you an image URL. Image URL. Same way. For everything you have seen. If you set them, it won't show you text. It will show you images. We'll try this, see. In our project, we don't have any images here. Let me add one folder. I will name the folder as icons. I'm using some icons now. Okay, for next, previous, first, and last, I'm using some icons. When you're debugging on the top, you'll get down arrow, up arrow, like this now. Same way, I want to use some icons like this. First, let me add the icons here. Right click, add, existing item. On my computer, I have a folder called as icons. Yeah, there are some icons here. I want to use these particular icons. What icons I want to use is these arrow icons here. I want to use this for next. First. I want to use this icon for first. Previous. I want to use this for previous. I want to use it for next. I want to use it for last. Got it? Let me select these icons first. Decide now. This one, down icon, I want to use it for last. Previous. I want to use it for next. first. Okay. Now go to here, set your properties now. Pager settings. Uh, Yeah, pager settings. First. Next. Oh, I set for wrongly. Yeah. Okay, sorry. What is this? Last. First. Next. Okay. Actually, without doubt, text is also there, image is also there. When both are there, first preference goes to image. When both are there, first preference goes to image. That's you see. You got the image. First image, last. Next. Previous. First. Last. Understood paging, all of you? Yes or not? It's a very simple process how you can do. Okay, come on. Read it once. This control is designed to display the data on a web form in the table structure, and also this control has various features like paging. That's what I shown you right now. Next, sorting. We'll see that. Next, customizing, editing. Next, blocks of records. Blocks of records. Huge volumes of data. Next, when you set the page size property now, we need to set the page size property. If you don't set, no issues here. The default is 10. Next, next previous or numeric is the default. Next space first class. Next, four options here. Choose whatever you want. Next, we can tell here where you want this particular thing, whether you want on the top of the grid or bottom of the grid or both. Sometimes you can show on the top, sometimes they can show on the bottom, sometimes they can show on both the two places. Okay, how do I show? There is a position property is there. Where you have the pager settings only, na? Position. Up and bottom, see, both the places. Choice is yours. And also, you can give the text or image values for the next, previous, first, and last button. Text also can be used. Image also can be given. But both are given first preference to image. Okay, otherwise text. Next one. Remember, in the page index changing event, we saw that a new page index, E dot new page index. When I called E dot new page index, it was telling me the page index of the new page now. Okay. We add a new page and we have implemented the code. Simple here. You did not write any great logic. As simple a load data. First, you call the load data in the load event. Second, page index changing. In the page index changing, we are setting the new index and calling the load data. Are you clear? So same way we can do sorting. What is sorting? You know now, grid is going to show you data. I want to arrange the data in the ascending or descending order based on any column in the table now. That is called as sorting. We can do sorting, we can do customizing, we can do editing, all these things. Okay, now next class we'll see how to do them. That's all. We'll meet tomorrow.